cheaters who have been allowed to explain why they cheated have listed some context-specific reasons, including gaining social status, advancing one's career, exposure to alternatives and opportunities, and sociocultural sanctioning of infidelity. Men report more opportunities to engage in infidelity than do women, especially when controlling for their spouse's employment status. This phenomenon implies that men either have more opportunities to cheat, create such opportunities, or have little to no reservations when it comes to infidelity. Happily married women often filter out the opportunities to cheat, as do women who are satisfied with their relationships. Opportunities are conceptualized differently, but in general, they're used in referring to the availability and willingness of extra-pair partners to engage in infidelity. The size of a community is more a predictor of attitudes towards infidelity than marital status or satisfaction are. Urban settings, more than rural settings, provide opportunities to engage in extra-pair relationships, especially because of an increased degree of anonymity and secrecy, considering how rural areas have that community feel. The contribution of an area to the likelihood of infidelity is associated with gender ratios. Particularly, urban areas with unbalanced gender ratios, especially those with more men than women, report increased risk of divorce due to the increased number of alternatives for women who predominantly file for divorce. Also, urban residents, due to exposure and increased interaction, hold more permissive attitudes towards infidelity, thereby presenting urban areas as a context that promotes infidelity being more about the environment than the person. The availability of alternative partners is an interesting contextual contributor to infidelity. People with a history of infidelity report that extramarital partners are single or are working on leaving an unhappy relationship. Single women who get involved with married men value sexual freedom and personal control. These women, just like men who get involved with married women, seek to avoid the demands of a committed relationship. Higher perceived alternative extra-pair partner quality is a significant predictor of infidelity among women. In other words, when women have the opportunity to get with a higher value male than the one they're partnered up with, rarely do they pass it up. The perceived attractiveness of an alternative partner is largely influenced by the level of commitment in the primary relationship, evidenced by the fact that those committed in their relationships downplay the attractiveness of potential suitors. Income and employment status do translate into greater opportunities for sex and infidelity. Employment exposes individuals to potential partners, facilitated by propinquity and intimacy, facilitating interactions that enable infidelity, reduce dependence on the partner, and increase a person's desire for alternative partners. Depending on the study that you look at, between 42 and 62% of the unfaithful met the other person at work. Other studies suggest that nearly half of the people who cheat met their secondary partners at the workplace. People who have an affair with their coworker are more satisfied with their marriage, compatible with their spouses, have been married longer, care about their extra-pair partner, are more distressed with the situation. Did not seek the affair as much as it just happened as a result of shared interests, and have affairs with fewer number of partners compared to those whose affair is not with a co-worker. Women's addition into the workforce in large numbers in the 60s and 70s inspired research on how women's employment outside the home influenced their engagement in infidelity. Working women are slightly more likely to engage in infidelity compared to their counterparts who do not work. The highest rates of infidelity are reported in couples, and by the one who work outside the home compared to those who don't. The partner with greater status and power, which is mostly the one who works away from home, is more prone to engage in infidelity. Further analysis of people's jobs reveals that those require touching, discussing personal concerns, or being alone with others raise the likelihood of having extra-pair relationships. Think of beauty or massage, psychology or therapy, and entertainment jobs. People in interaction-based professions, such as nursing, social work, and beauty, are more likely to form new relationships that could lead to something like infidelity. Other jobs, such as the military, serve as deterrents to cheating because of their settings. Jobs that involve night travel and in big cities offer more opportunities to cheat. Income really influences the kind of people a person has access to, where they live, the kind of leisure activities they're involved in, and so many things. Those on more than $30,000 annual income are more likely to have a history of engaging in infidelity. Men with higher incomes are more desirable to potential mates, and as such, are more likely to have a history of extra-pair relationships. Women's risk of infidelity decreases with increase in familial or personal income because they become more picky with their mates, as well as rarely engage in sexual activity for convenience. Traveling, which increases the opportunity to meet new people, raises the risk of having extra-pair relationships. Partners vacationing separately opens up the opportunities to meet other potential partners, but the whole idea of separate vacations is closely related to some serious marital dynamics, especially autonomy. Peer groups really influence a person's perspective on things, whether in the context of a relationship or otherwise. Individuals with a cheating history have higher rates of infidelity in their community and peer group, consider their friends more willing to engage in infidelity than they are, and believe that their friends are approving of extra-pair relationships. The effect of the peer group or community on personal choices surrounding infidelity is more pronounced among men than it is among women. The acceptance of infidelity within a social group or community influences an individual's willingness to engage in infidelity. People in peer groups that disprove cheating are required to go to extra lengths to mask their behavior. Having to hide infidelity from partners, then peers, seems like a lot of work, which could discourage people from engaging in infidelity. Swingers know very few neighbors, visit very few relatives, and join very few religious groups. Social or contextual factors refer to opportunities available for cheating, as well as the differences in how people react to these opportunities. For instance, young people who have more socialization opportunities end up meeting new people, a phenomenon that raises the likelihood of cheating compared to the older adults. Similarly, outgoing people with bubbly personalities are also more likely to interact with more people compared to introverts, which also raises the risk of meeting an extra-pair partner. People who are well-educated, from large metropolitan areas, with permissive sex attitudes, and either single or dissatisfied with their primary relationship, are more accepting of extra-pair relationships. The contextual factors associated with cheating are worsened by prior sexual experiences that result in behaviors that overlap with an individual's social networks. Apart from the availability of potential partners, the cheating opportunity includes the assurance of secrecy. Couples who lead separate lives have more opportunities to have secondary sexual partners, and actually do have secondary sexual partners at rates higher than those who live together. The couples who lead separate lives have more opportunities to meet new people and utilize the related opportunities without too much supervision from their partner. People with fewer opportunities to cheat are forced to go to greater lengths to find an extra-pair partner. Individual endowments and learned skills, mostly from a history of infidelity, provides a learned advantage that enables cheaters to effectively utilize arising opportunities.